Good morning, NBA basketball fans, man. These playoffs just don't get any more better every single night. It's just insane, bro.
Facts.
Insane. We had two big games last night, big game fives. And then tonight we got two big game fives as well, right? Is it game four or is it five? It's five,
It's
right?
five now. Yeah, it's game
It-
five.
It's game fives, and both of these situations is 3-1. So
No, I
somebody going,
lied. Game six.
oh, it's game six.
Yeah. I could
Somebody
have
going,
sworn last game was game four.
me too. Somebody going home though, Steve-O. Somebody is going
Who you
home.
calling it?
I don't know. Hey, somebody. Hey, it's just how it goes. It's how it goes in the NBA. So both of these teams are down
3-1.
three to one. So man, it ain't looking too good.
No.
It ain't looking too good. And Miami and the Heat and the Knicks are 3-1, and the Lakers lead the Warriors 3-1. So these are game fives for both of these
Okay.
guys. But we're gonna
I ain't
talk
gonna
about
lie. Let's get straight into it because I got some stuff to say.
all
But
right right after this.
Welcome to the number one place for your daily basketball news and analysis, NBA Central.
Ooh, somebody in trouble. Go ahead, Steve-O. Let him have it, my guy.
Boston, you in trouble.
So
Nah,
the
for real.
Celtics last night get demolished
Dummy.
by the Philadelphia 76ers behind Tyrese Maxey finally showed up to the series and gave him a 30-piece. Joel Embiid has been averaging 30 points and 10 rebounds. Jason Tatum waited until the game was kind of out of reach to try to get his fire going, and Jaylen Brown was just in foul trouble all night, man. And old man Alfred Horford could not hit the broadside of a barn. Let's see what you got to say, Steve. How'd you feel about this 103 victory for the Philadelphia 76ers over the Boston Celtics in Boston? Beat them twice on the road already.
It's like I've been saying, like I've been questioning their mindset and the way they're going about playing basketball, and it just like I get in Joe Mazzulla's thought process of wanting them to shoot more threes, but when y'all off, y'all off,
Mm-hmm.
and y'all was off last night, so I'm not seeing nothing different you telling them to do to help whatever situation they are in. Because I've noticed that whenever they're not shooting well, they're not them. They don't act the same way. They cause a lot of turnovers. They not running as good enough plays or efficient enough plays to get to the basket. So you just see, for the most part, Tatum out there shooting about 11 threes. Really, it was like eight, made three of them, which ain't terrible, but shooting 11, 27 shots, but them 11 shots came a little too late. It just the attitude coming in with this game, it just looked completely off. Everybody body language was off. It didn't look like nobody wanted it. And Philly came out like, "Hey, Joel Embiid, we wanted that. We was waiting for that MVP performance, and we got it."
Well, honestly, Embiid has been giving us an MVP performance since he got back from injury. It's just been the others who weren't showing up. In the first game, he was back.
Nah, bro.
Nope. Hold on, wait a second. The first game he came back, he gave him 30 and 12 on a super bad knee. It was just that second game after that 45, James didn't show up, Maxie didn't show up. And then
Yeah.
in the third game, he also gave him another 30 and 10. So he's been playing really, and 5 blocks, 4 blocks. He's been playing really well. It's just that last night you had other people show up. They were timely between James Harden and Maxi. They helped, and then Tobias Harris showed up as well. So he had a bunch of fouls too, but I think the combination of Harris, Embiid, Maxi, and Harden is what they're looking for, and then they
Yeah.
got big contributions from Daniel House Jr. last night, and it seems like in the second round you're starting to get a strong contribution from
On the bench.
somebody else from somebody's bench every single night. In the fourth quarter, it's like somebody that you don't expect is doing
Step
their
up.
thing in the fourth quarter or the second half. So that's what you got from Philly last night. And but this was more of an MVP performance for Joel Embiid, just based on the way he did it.
That's what I was going with.
The 4 blocks, the rhythm that he was in,
It
and
was the
hitting all
rhythm,
his
bro. Yeah.
yes, the mid-range shots. He was just catching and shooting around the free throw line. He wasn't putting his body at risk and getting knocked to the ground every 17, 18 times. 10 for 11 from the free throw line as well for Joel Embiid. He looked good, man, and they looked like they at least trying not to lose in the second round this season.
Yeah.
Doc Rivers know he's on the hot seat, so I know he's coaching these guys up.
Facts. And that was really my main thing. Like if he as soon as he got the ball, he was either shooting it or passing it. He didn't waste no dribbles. He didn't do no extra stuff. He got straight to the stuff. Got his players involved. If not, I'm taking the shot, and the shots went in. And like you
Oh
said, Doc Rivers no. So he was coaching them hard. I seen a lot of those, in the playoffs. They showed a lot of the cuts of the coach talking, doing in between timeouts. And I ain't been seeing him this animated in a while. So is he feel the heat as long as everybody else do. So yeah,
yeah.
it's
Both of these guys, neither one of these teams had many turnovers last night too. So
no,
it was a pretty clean game. It's really just that first quarter. Really, Boston started off slow, and then they missed 50 shots for the game as well. So like you spoke on how many threes they shot. They shot 38. They aimed for about 50 threes a
53.
game.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Philly controlled the pace last night. They weren't trying to run with these guys. They're like, okay, we're going to slow it down. We're going to use the shot clock, and we're going to take advantage of nobody can really guard Embiid. That boy Williams was out there looking like, okay, is he going to dribble? Is he going to drive? Is he going to take a step back? What are he going to do? Embiid
Yeah.
just pump fake, pivot, pump fake, jab step, and then shoot the jumper.
Yeah.
It was
That's
crazy.
really what it was, and they didn't know what to do with that. And that's another smart thing on Joe Mizzou. I mean, not Joe Mizzou, on Doc Rivers. He realized they were way better in the half court.
Mm-hmm.
And if you
Mm-hmm.
think about it, the Harden style is a half court now. And B style is half court. Pretty much everybody on that team is a half court type style, and
And
playing
Maxie
transition was
benefited.
going to work. Yeah, and Maxi
Benefited.
definitely benefited on those on the transition as well.
And just in the half court because they were using this Joel Embiid pick,
Pick, yep,
and he was instead of driving around the pick, he was just taking that dribble to the left and pulling up, hitting
pulling up.
threes. So it was a great game, man. Shout out to the Philadelphia 76ers for putting Boston on the brink of going home early, man. You got the Milwaukee Bucks already went home early. Cleveland already went home early, and second round is still pretty early
Hell,
for
it look like the Knicks about to go home early.
yeah, but like I said before, the Knicks overachieved this season, man.
Yeah,
I didn't expect them to make it to the second round of the playoffs to begin with. But for them to
I
be here,
did. I ain't gonna lie to you though. But
yeah,
go ahead.
I thought that Cleveland series was going to go 7 and it was going to be a
Mhm.
toss up. So I didn't expect, but when I say I didn't expect them to go to the second round of the playoffs, it's just that when the season
You
started,
expect them to win? Okay.
no, when the season started, I didn't expect the Knicks to be good at all.
Oh, okay. Well, that's understandable. Yeah.
Even with signing Jalen Brunson, I didn't expect them to get to the 5th seed in the Eastern Conference. It just wasn't what I anticipated. So shout out to Boston, for to this series, really, because Boston they got to go win on the road now, and they've proven that they can do so, just like Philly's proved that they can do it. So it was a pretty good game. And then last night, man, it was a laugher. Like Denver versus Phoenix. Phoenix came crashing down to earth, and it's almost like Denver is just feeding off the home court advantage. It feels like the 1990s where that home team just figured, hey, we don't care what happened on the road. We're going to take care of home court. And them boys came out with a defensive intensity that you didn't see in Phoenix. They
I
started the
called
game.
it.
Listen, they came with that defense. And then Michael Porter Jr., which I called,
You did.
he came out
You
on
did.
fire, bro, and we knew he was gonna have at least one game this series where he showed up because he hadn't been showing up all series.
Say those stats real quick, Kev.
Hold on, let me go to that game because these man. First of all, it was a 118-102
It's two.
victory, but the thing is, Denver won that game by more. It was 118-102, but it was more than that.
Yeah.
It was just a wire-to-wire victory. But Michael Porter Jr., 7 for 11 from the field, 5 for 8 from 3, 19 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. But that was pretty much all in the first half. It was one of those games kind of like how
Yeah.
D'Angelo Russell did Golden State, where he scored 21 in the first half, and it kind of helped uh,
Good
the
comparison.
Lakers win. Yeah. So Aaron Gordon had a decent game too, 10 points, 4 for 13 from the field. But Nikola
Big.
Jokic, again, big joker, man, 29 points, 12 assists, 13 rebounds, 2 blocks and a steal, just an all-around game, a complete game. It was just a really good game. Now, what really set the tone, though, was Contavious Caldwell Pope's defense on Kevin Durant. He had that man out there flustered, and who allowed Bruce Brown to score 25 points?
Bruce.
Who
Nah,
did
bro.
that,
His whole running mate was in town, and they got to
Joe?
talking crazy. He was like, "All right, I'm gonna show you why. Hey, I'm gonna show you why we was in the playoffs for real in Brooklyn." And he did.
Yeah, man. Golden State, I mean not Golden State. The Phoenix Suns just they didn't have it last night, and
Yeah,
it was
I called it.
the game that you were saying that Booker was gonna have
It was today.
2 games ago happened this game. 8 for 19 from the field ain't too bad.
Ain't
Four for
bad.
seven from three, but it was in a blowout effort. So like it wasn't like they needed him. Well, they needed him to do something, but he couldn't overcome the deficit that they were in. They was just in a bad one. And then KD, he's
Hey,
been
bro.
struggling from the field, bro. 10 for
Yeah,
24 on
the
20. He
whole
got
series.
right, exactly. 26 shots to get 24 points. Now he did do some other things, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. But man, they just looked out of sorts last night. DeAndre Ayton even
I
played
was
better
just
than
about
he
to
had
ask
been
you
playing.
something. I was just about to ask you something, bro. Just look at these stats. Can we officially say, bro, these stats for DeAndre ain't be lying?
Nah, he getting garbage numbers. So you remember
That's what I'm
how
saying. Like it's lying. Like it's lying. Because if you just look, if somebody just look 14, they're like, oh, he did. But he did. But
14
if,
and 9. That's
yeah,
that's that's the type of stuff Carlos Boozer used to do, man. Like he would go out there and suck the whole game. It didn't go crazy when the game was out of
they did
reach. So
while sweating his lining off.
man, he bogus for that. I'll never forgive him for being on national TV with that thing. But now I will say this: they have been playing their bench a little bit more since the start of this series. Terrence Ross is definitely going to play a role in this next game. And T.J. Warren even came in and gave them a spark off the bench, but then he didn't do much after he hit his 2 baskets early in the third quarter, or was it late in the second
Bro,
quarter?
I gotta see. This is why I wish I was in the media because I got questions about this. How do you go from just playing three bench players the other game? And I understand the situation, but it's like,
Looking for a
I,
spark.
yeah, but it's like I rather not my starters play 40 minutes and score 40. And when I could play somebody else when they was winning. So that's
Yeah,
just me though.
and honestly, they down by so much. You let them boys rest, and kind of like how the Lakers when they blew out Golden State a couple of games ago, and Curry sat out pretty much the whole fourth quarter.
Hmm.
Just let these men get some rest and go back to the drawing board. But hey, they got a lot of work to do in Phoenix. For them to even be in a situation to have another home game after starting 0-2 in this series, after Chris Paul going down with an injury, it's a miracle in and of itself. So like for them tonight, I mean last night to get blown out like that, man, I figured that they would, at least come with a little bit more effort. It just wasn't meant to be. And they're not getting nothing from Josh Okogie. Like, what is he like a defensive player or something? Because
I
this whole
mean,
series he
that's
ain't
really
been
what
doing
he is. Like it is in totality. That's really what he was like. That's why he's in the league, hustling defense. He can score sparingly, but he got to be hot. But yeah, they not. That's one thing. They not calling no plays for him. So
and he only played 8 minutes. Terrence Ross had 20, so I guess it's one of those things where you start the game, set the defensive tone, then you sit down and start cheering for your teammates.
yeah, I don't see why they both didn't split. But yeah, I'm not the coach. I'm not Monty, so I don't know.
Yeah, Monty Williams and company, they got some work to do. All right, tonight we got 2 big game 5s, starting with the Miami Heat
I ain't
versus the
calling nothing.
New York Knicks. Yes, you are on TNT at 6:30. We got the Knicks at home. They haven't won since game 2 of this series. What we got tonight, man? In that game 2, they barely won. They could have got swept. I think if Butler played that game, we're not even talking about this game tonight. What do you think? Can the Knicks get a win tonight in New York for Stephen A. Smith and for the Spike Lee and the rest of the major Knicks fans, or are they going 1, 2, 3 Cancun in their last huddle?
I mean, I want to say it's over, but like Shay said, every time I say something over, it don't end up being over. So I'm gonna go in and say that New York gonna come out. They at home. They gonna find a way to win.
I hope you're right, man, but I'm
I
going
don't
with
believe it
Miami.
though.
I'm
I don't
going with
believe.
Miami, man. I feel like Jimmy Butler, he's been here before. He really wants to win a championship. I don't think Jimmy Butler is thinking about anything else but winning the championship, especially once the playoffs started. He wasn't even thinking about the regular season. He was just thinking about the playoffs and championship.
Right.
And I feel like, man, these guys smell blood. They know they can play with these guys, whether they're at home or on the road. It hasn't been in these type of situations where the Knicks have made like major separation from these guys at any point in this series. So I just feel like Miami, man, they got what it takes to win tonight and wrap things up, and that's what's gonna happen.
Facts.
Man, now we got the Golden State Warriors at home versus the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers are primed to send those guys to Cancun. You know LeBron would love nothing else than to beat Golden State in Golden State tonight. What you got? Who you got?
Like, I want to say Lakers, but something just telling me like you just can't count out Steph. You just
You
can't
can't.
count him out. And these the type of games he done been in before, and we seen him do it in last season when it was time to win that game. It was Game 7. He showed out. So he like to show out in moments like these. So I could definitely see him go to state. And I know Clay been hearing us, and I know well, I can't speak for Poole, but I'm just hoping that Clay and Steph get it. I'm not too much worried about Steph, but if Clay and Wiggins have a solid game, they can win for sure.
So you picking Golden State, and I'm gonna
I'm gonna
lean.
lean. Yeah, I'm gonna lean towards Golden State.
I'm gonna lean toward Golden State as well, mainly because you know me, I want 7 games. And it would be beautiful to see these, all-time great players go at it for 7, just for the history of the NBA, just for the ability to say, man, you remember 7, 8 years ago when Golden State and the Lakers had that 7-game series.
Yeah,
Um,
bro.
so I'm looking forward to seeing some good basketball. I want to see some classic basketball tonight. And I want to see Draymond redeem himself. I want to see Clay redeem himself. And Steph Curry as well, because I felt like even though Anthony Davis is playing good defense down the stretch, I felt like a couple of them shots that they took at the end of the game were just bonehead plays, regardless of what they've done in their career. I would like to see a little bit more IQ and situational basketball for those guys, because when you're down 1 and you're taking 30-foot step backs, it just doesn't make sense to me, especially when Jordan Poole got all this flack for doing the same thing earlier in this series. So I want to see all of these guys step up, take the reins, be leaders, and go take this game. We know how they play on the road. At home is where they make their money. Go make your money tonight. Go to state and get this win.
Yeah, for the most part, I agree. For the most part, like I said, I'm 50-50 about them shots because it's like either you take them shots or you gonna pass to the Pool or you gonna pass
Mhm.
to the Clay, and it's like I'd rather Steph take the shot. But yeah, like I said, but my main concern was them. Like it came a point of time where they just wasn't moving without the ball, and that's just not uncharacteristic. That's uncharacteristic about this team. So I need them to go back to their roots. I need Steve Kerr to be quick on his feet, and hopefully this game could go 7.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all already know we appreciate y'all for rocking with us every single morning right here on the NBA Central. Y'all can hit us up at NBA Central Show at gmail.com. Y'all already know the rest of the guys. We got NBA, so we got Chicago Bulls Central, Chicago Bears Central, Chicago Sky Central, Chicago White Sox, and Chicago Cubs Central. And of course, the Cognac Game with the Shy Bulls podcast with C Dub and Bobby. And we apologize for yesterday. T Dub ended up having a family emergency, so we couldn't call the game 1 last night. It would have been a good one. But hey, we're gonna try to get to you guys on some live calls throughout these playoffs. We definitely gonna holler at y'all later on. Appreciate you. Peace.
Welcome to the #1 place for your daily basketball news and analysis, NBA Central.